Alright, looks like this thing's on. Mic is up. And we're back. The Trustee Podcast for another edition of the Bible Study. Friday Bible Study. I haven't sent any links out, so I'm just gonna do that now by putting... if I can find it. Oh yeah, there it is. We know how to use StreamYard. We have the technology. We've done this before. Excuse me. I'm just going to try to move my mic a little closer there. That's kind of awkward. Alright. Slipping and sliding. Got my little sock over this thing, so hopefully that keeps us from popping and locking and do whatever these things do when they go awry. And stream link is in the description. Give the stream a couple minutes to warm up here, and go check my audio on the YouTube end. Sounds bueno. Alright. Thank you if you're here. We're going to do a little Bible study today. And everyone's invited. Should be a fun show. Going back to the book of Exodus. We're about to... the Pharaoh rather, and the Egyptians are about to find themselves in some deep, deep doo-doo. They've made Abraham's God and Moses' God very angry. They just want to go out in the desert, get some sun, burn some ritual sacrifices, I suppose. Pharaoh wants to keep them working. Pharaoh runs a tight ship. I believe we made it through chapter 7 last time, although I can't honestly say whether or not we made it all the way, but it seems like we made it close enough to move on to chapter 8. I think we'll have to not so worried about it at this point. The Bible study has gone from being very thorough to, we'll see. I'm going to pull up the screen here. BibleGateway.com. You can read along with. And where's the screen? That screen. This is 1 Corinthians, our verse of the day. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil. Semicolon? I guess it continues after that, but we're not looking at that. It just happened to come up when I pulled up BibleGateway.com. Many thanks to the Christies at BibleGateway.com for making this very accessible website with many different versions of the Bible and a huge font size for me to display for you. It's wonderful. Okay. We are at Exodus chapter 8 in the King James Version. I'll be reading along from BibleGateway.com here, but I also have my African Heritage Study version as well. And so if anything comes up on that end, I will go ahead and share that with y'all. Kendra, hello. Good to see you. Dr. Osiris, see people's in the side chat. Lovely to see everyone. Tobin Templeman. And if anybody wants to jump in here, just go hit that link in the description. Hopefully I got the right one up here. It's always good fun to be here for a little while. Alright, now there will be a plague. The Lord spake unto Moses, Go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me. A lot of repetition here. He just keeps going back to the Pharaoh, right? And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs. This has to be among the stranger of the plagues. Frogs? I don't know. I used to think frogs were really cool, especially when I was a kid. I just, pick them up and play with them. Alright. 3. And the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house, and into thy bedchamber, and upon thy bed. Now that might be a little freaky. Wake up with frogs in your bed. And into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thine ovens, and into thy kneading troughs. Troughs? Kneading troughs. I'm guessing that's like a trough. A trough. That's what it should be, a trough. Right. Oh, man. So, yeah. The plagues here are coming. The frogs are going to be the first. See, the frogs seem like the most innocuous one. That's the one where we're just going to freak you out. Well, no, before that, they had all the fish in the river die, which that's pretty gross. You gotta say, that's pretty gross. And the smell of rotting fish. I mean, even just regular ass fish smells, but yeah, they're all rotten, bloody, and yeah, it sounds really bad. 4. And the frogs shall come both on thee, and upon thy people, and upon all thy servants. And the Lord spake unto Moses, Say unto Aaron, that's his brother, Stretch forth thine hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause the frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments, and brought up frogs upon the land of Egypt. 8. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron, and said, Entreat the Lord, that he may take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may do sacrifice unto the Lord. So the frogs, I guess, were convincing enough for Pharaoh here. See, and I've heard that before. I think there was something to a certain kind of toads, but I don't think it's like generally most frogs. However, now we're talking like American frogs, but the frogs we're talking about now in certain parts of the world. I can't say exactly. I know in parts of South America and Africa, and this may apply to the Mideast also. Some frogs are super poisonous. Like if you touch them or what have you, like they can get you super sick, or some of them can even kill humans with their various defense mechanisms. So there may be something to that. Yeah, I don't know if it's in their urine or something excreted by like glands in their some kind of glands that secrete through the skin, I think is how the frogs have that mechanism. But again, that's pretty rare. I'm not sure how that applies to Egyptian frogs. I didn't even know there would be Egyptian frogs. That would be like the last thing I would think, but evidently there are. I don't know. It'd be worth researching whether or not, I guess, there's any historical precedent for like crazy frog activity in the Nile. I guess it was, right, the rivers. Well, it just says the river, I don't think it specifies. It's just the river of Egypt. That's the Nile, right? That's what we're talking about. All right, but so Pharaoh's like, all right, I'm throwing in the towel. Just take the frogs away, and we'll do this. Moses said unto Pharaoh, Glory over me, when shall I entreat for thee and for thy servants and for thy people to destroy the frogs? Why does he have to destroy the frogs? He's supposed to just send them away. He's like, I'm going to destroy them from thee and thy houses, that they remain in the river only. And he said, Tomorrow. And he said, Be it according to thy word, that thou mayest know that there is none like unto the Lord our God. And the frogs shall depart from thee, and from thy houses, from thy servants, and from thy people, and they shall remain in the river only. Yeah, whatever. Moses went out from Pharaoh, and Moses cried unto the Lord because the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. Okay. So he's like, take the frogs away, and the Lord did according to the word of Moses. So now God's taking orders from Moses. Like, he can't, he's watching everything else, right? He already knows what's happening. But Moses has to go and, physically say, actually say, hey, God, it's done. He said he's had enough. And God's, only listening to Moses in this case, I guess. Nobody else could have told him. And they gathered them together upon heaps, and the land stank. That doesn't sound good. The frogs died out of the houses, out of the villages, and out of the fields. Okay, so I guess he's saying they just died there, rather than returning them to the river. Sorry, I was watching an anatomy video before this. Yes, Tylenol is bad for the liver. But when Pharaoh saw that there was respite, he hardened his heart, and hearkened not unto them as the Lord had said. And the Lord said unto Moses, Say unto Aaron, Stretch out thy rod, and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. Oh no, a lice plague. That's not good. So now they got stinky frog corpses everywhere, and they're all gonna be itching, having the good old louse bugs. And they did so. 17. We're at chapter 8, verse 17. That's actually something I'd like to try. I'd eat me some frog legs. I haven't tried it yet. I'll give it a shot. One of these days. And they did so, for Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod, smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast. Not just in man, he plagued the animals of Egypt too, right? He's like, fuck them all. Fuck them all. Give them all the bugs. Make them all itchy. All the dust of the land. That's a lot of dust. Do you know how much dust there is? That's crazy. There would be... there's probably already more lice than people. How many? Probably thousands or millions of lice could potentially live on a single person or a dog, or I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but that's just ridiculous. All the dust of the land. Egypt's a pretty dusty place. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beast. Then the magician said unto Pharaoh, This is the finger of God. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had said, the finger of God. Which finger? 20. And the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me. And it's so sad. This guy, he's so freaking stubborn. there's a reference here we're about to come up on to Genesis chapter 46, verse 34, or something. Wait, yeah, and it's going to be coming up in 22 here. This reference to Goshen apparently is going to be like a prophecy fulfilled or something of that nature. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. So I don't know, if you were like ramping it up, the flies would have come before the dead. See, and it makes sense because you have dead fish, now you have dead frogs everywhere. Of course the flies are going to follow that. It seems like that would have been the precursor to the plague of lice, but you know, they do things the way they want in this universe. So here we have reference once again for those who are taking notes. Genesis 46:34, and I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. So he's going to exempt, I guess, this Goshen peoples from the flies. They're the only ones who aren't going to get swarmed by flies in this little bubble. I thought it was just Egypt. I don't know if Goshen is part of Egypt. I really am not keeping track of this type of shit. It's hard enough just to try to make sense of the language. Yeah, like, why did he have to give it to all the animals? That's just like overkill. You could call him Lord of the Flies, Dr. Osiris, if you prefer. 23. And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be between my people and thy people, right? So it's us versus them now. And the Lord did it. Like, that wasn't already the case, but we just have to emphasize here at 8:23, the Lord did so, and there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh, and to his servants' houses, and to all the land of Egypt. The land was corrupted by reason of the swarm of flies. And Pharaoh called for Moses and for Aaron and said, "Go ye, sacrifice to your God in the land." It's like, get the hell out of here, man. Like, all this stuff, now we got a bunch of flies trying to get the lice off me. I mean, I'm assuming Pharaoh had the lice as well, right? I mean, he's not exempt from any of this. Or she, I don't know what the Pharaoh was presuming a male. And Moses said, "It is not me so to do, for we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians to the Lord our God. Lo, shall we sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians before their eyes, and will they not stone us?" So now, he's like, "Now we're just gonna do our shit right here." I think that's, what is he? Or no, Pharaoh's telling him, I guess, just do it right here. And Moses said, "No, we want to go out there." That's and for some reason he thinks they're going to get stoned. I'd like to get stoned. 27. We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God as he shall command us. So they don't even know what kind of sacrifice they're going to make. They're still waiting for the commandment, right? Because I don't think Moses has even gotten the actual commandments, right? He like went up there, he was talking to the bush, he stuck his hand in the bush, and then the bush sent him back down and was like, "Y'all need to go out into the desert." But I think he's gonna have a second meeting with God. I'm pretty sure that's how this works. Yeah, go check this side chat. Ooh. It's a hard pass there, huh? So we're at 8:28, and take a brief intermission to say thank you to everyone in the side chat once again, all viewers, past, present, and future tense. Your likes and subscriptions, interactions always help keep the channel going. And I'll make the announcement to now the deconversion of Atheist Mo. I believe we are going to be set for Sunday night, midnight my time, which will be 3 a.m. On the eastern coast. So midnight west coast, 3 a.m. east coast. I think I'm close to the ballpark there. So we'll see how that works out, but that's the tentative plan here. Should be fun. Look forward to that. Alright. And I'll continue on. And Pharaoh said, I will let you go, that ye may sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness. Only ye shall not go very far away. Entreat for me. And Moses said, Behold, I go out from thee, and I will entreat the Lord, and the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. But let not Pharaoh deal deceitfully any more in not letting the people go to sacrifice to the Lord, right? Quit telling us you're going to let us go and then not letting us go, because you've been bullshitting us for like, I don't know, the last 2 chapters or something. Like, how much more do we have to do to show you we're serious, man? Have to kill the firstborn or something. Yeah. I don't know, why was tomorrow 2 different words back in the day? Does that make any sense to anyone? I'm just going to say tomorrow. And Moses went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Lord, and the Lord did according to the word of Moses. He removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, his servants, his people. There remained not one. And Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also, neither would he let the people go. Right? So he's just not gonna. He's like, whatever. Like, you send all the lice and flies you want. It's Pharaoh. We don't care. I really don't think, it's not rational, it's not like logical to believe that this guy was genuinely just this stubborn, like all throughout. Like, hey, we tried like, we tried every way we knew how. The guy just wouldn't listen to reason. He wouldn't even listen to, the cries of all his people who were all itchy from the lice, and all the animals presumably, going nutso butso, trying to, also just scratch. Lice are bad, man. Lice are horrible. I don't know if I want to continue on here in Exodus, or go back to Revelation. Man, I think, well, nine's fairly short chapter. I think we all know what's coming. This situation is going to escalate. UK time, I believe. I've done this before. You should be, if it's east is 3 from here, and I think UK is 5 from that, so it's actually 8 hours in between. We've worked this out before somehow. There'd be 8 hours from Pacific, so if I'm going on at midnight, it'll be 8 a.m. in the UK, which is actually not a terrible time for a morning show. But fair warning, Atheist Mo speaks very freely. If you're not familiar with Atheist Mo, go check out the content. So we're going to try to get to the bottom of it. I know he'll have a lot to say here regarding his own deconversion away from from faith. So, and buffering. The spinning circle of doom. All right. So yeah, I have these things. They're not reading glasses. They're actually prescription corrective lenses. Getting used to it. I also have these ones. These might work better for reading. Yeah, I think Louisiana is that, see, I want to say mountain time, but that's not right. But it's somewhere in between. Yeah, we have the mountain time, and then we have the other one. But yeah, it's like 6 hours somewhere midway in the country, and then, yeah, well, it's 3 hours between us, but then it's certain places it's like closer to 2 hours or 2.5 hours. It's depending precisely on where you are. It's never been my strong suit. I find that falls into the category of numbers, which I'm not good at. Not numbers in the Bible, but actual numbers. Although we'll get there eventually. Yeah. Oop. That's the one. For those trying to understand the time differentials. Alright, we'll go through chapter 9 here. I think that'll be a good spot to land on. If we don't have Richard Madsen or somebody stop by, I don't know. It could happen. Alright. Then the Lord said oh wait, I'll blow this up for you. I'm still blown up. I'm going to unblow myself and there you are. Then the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto the Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For thou refused to let him go, and wilt hold for them still. Behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in thy field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain? Murrain? What's a murrain? Inquiring minds have to know what is he talking about. A murrain? Is defined as an infectious disease, especially babesiosis? What is that? Affecting cattle or other animals, plague, epidemic, or crop blight? Okay, so yeah, another plague, but this one's gonna be disease. Yes, we'll blow up here. A very grievous murrain. And the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel, the cattle of Egypt. There shall nothing die of all that is the children's of Israel. So our shit's not going to die. It's just going to be your shit. Right? God's going to fuck your livestock up. And the Lord appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. This is why I need my parental advisory up, because now my mouth is just running. It's a family-friendly program, children. He says he's going to do this tomorrow. He's going to curse your asses and your sheep and all that good stuff. And the Lord did that thing on the morrow. And all the cattle of Egypt died, but of the cattle of the children of Israel did not one. It didn't even just get sick. They just drop dead. It's not, yeah. 7. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israelites dead, and the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. And now at this point, he's not just stubborn. I mean, this person, the character described here is an idiot, right? This guy has the power to drop every one of his livestock out of existence, and he's just like, meh. He's covered us with lice, flies, frogs, killed all our goats, but yeah. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, Take you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. And it shall become small dust in the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast, throughout all the land of Egypt. And at 10, they took the ashes of the furnace and stood before the Pharaoh. Moses sprinkled it up toward heaven, and it became a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians. And the Lord hardened the heart of the Pharaoh, and he hearkened unto them as the Lord had spoken unto Moses. And the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before the Pharaoh, and say unto him, Let my people go. Right? Let my people go, that they may serve me. Boils. They took the ashes of the furnace. Is there... It almost sounds like that was actually an active... That was like them actively, applying some active sabotage. No, it's not sabotage. Did they poison these guys? How did they end up with boils? Right? But they all got boils nonetheless from these ashes of the furnace, I guess. Yeah, man, let my people go. That's all he wanted. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, sorry, something unrelated came up. We're at 14. 14? For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thine servants, and upon thy people, and thou may knowest that there is none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. Wait, in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up? So he's saying the only reason he let him come to be and come into power was as a demonstration of his own power? This was like the plan all along, right? Because as I'm thinking about this, I'm like, he could have just avoided all of this. I think I said this long ago. He didn't have to go through, sending Moses and Aaron back and forth and commencing all these plagues and tests, because he said right from the beginning that he knows the Pharaoh's not going to listen to him. And it's just going to get worse and worse, right? And he's acknowledging now, he could have just avoided all this, just struck them all down, freed Moses and the Israelites, but he didn't do that, right? He wanted to have this test, this showdown. 17. As yet exaltest thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go. Behold, tomorrow about this time I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such as hath not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof even until now. Send therefore now, and gather thy cattle, I thought they were dead, and all that thou hast in the field, for upon every man and beast which shall be found in the field, and shall not be brought home, the hail shall come down upon them, and they shall die. Or is he talking to Moses? I'm confused now. I thought he was talking to, I thought this was the, shoot. I'm gonna go back. Oh no, he's still talking to Moses. Okay, gotcha. To 14. I got a little sidetrack there. 20, and he feared 20, and he feared that he that feared the word of the Lord among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the houses, and that he regarded not the word of the Lord, left his servants and his cattle in the field. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch forth thine hand toward heaven, that there may be hail in all the land of Egypt, upon man and upon beast, and upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Egypt. And Moses stretched forth his rod toward heaven, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground, and the Lord rained hail upon the land of Egypt. So there was hail and fire mingled with the hail, which nonsense, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. And the hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt, all that was in the field, both man and beast, and the hail smote every herb of the field, and brake every tree of the field, every tree. Only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel were, there was no hail. And Pharaoh sent and called for Moses and Aaron, and said unto them, I have sinned this time, the Lord is righteous, and I and my people are wicked. It was the hail. After all that, this crazy lightning hailstorm of flaming ice, right? 28. Entreat the Lord, for it is enough, that there be no more mighty thunderings and hail, and I will let you go, and ye shall stay no longer. And Moses said unto him, As soon as I am gone out of the city, I will spread abroad my hands unto the Lord, and the thunder shall cease, neither shall there be any more hail, that thou may knowest how that the earth is the Lord's. But as for thee and thy servants, I know that ye will not yet fear the Lord God. And the flax and the barley was smitten, for the barley was in the ear, and the flax was bolated. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that word is. So, it's not just enough for Moses and the Israelites for them to let them go. They're like, yeah, just let us go do our worship. At first, I think it was just 7 days? They just wanted a week off or something. Well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. We're almost done with this anyway. Yeah, it's not the best book ever written. It's not even close. There's just so much that doesn't make sense. The temper tantrum. Right, yeah. So first they just wanted a week off of work, right? And they're like, just let us go out and, burn this stuff and talk to God. And, our freaky deaky leader Moses, he told us that God told us, something or other. So they wanted 7 days off. Now they're like, no, we want to go. We want to go forever. Not just that, you got to let us go, right? But now you need to fear God. We need to make a point. We need to make an example out of you. That's what I'm reading out of this now. And we just got a few more verses to go, get through this. Right here. Oh, I don't know what that. I'm not going to look up that word. I don't care. 32. But the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not grown up. So baby wheat and rye were safe. And Moses went out of the city from Pharaoh, and spread abroad his hands unto the Lord, and the thunders and hail ceased, and the rain was not poured upon the earth. And when Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more. And the heart of the Pharaoh was hardened. I just skipped to 35. Neither would he let the children of Israel go, as the Lord had spoken by Moses. But it says they're already out of the city, or at least Moses himself is. See, it doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't he just take all the people out of the city right then and there? Peace Stone. That's about as far as we need to go today in Exodus. I got a message. I got a message Not from God, but, from another mortal man like myself. It may not have been directed particularly towards me, but I do feel it was a response to a conversation I had with that person quite a while ago. And being as it's something I said directly to them, taken almost verbatim as a quote, and looking back at it, yeah, I received that message. I'm not going to be too much more specific than that and be all vague and cryptic about it, because it's fun. and you're speculating a little bit. But yeah, I think the more I go through this book, the more I begin to lose my patience. And, if I'm going to talk to someone like Richard, I'm going to ask him why he thinks X, Y, or Z about the Bible. And I don't know, maybe one of the most frustrating things about the biblical interpretations is that people can find their own allegory, their own metaphor, and spin it to whatever fits their particular assumptions about what the Bible's supposed to be teaching and what the important parts are, and they all differ on that. And until all of those sects can actually begin to align themselves, it's still no more convincing to a non-believer, right? It only adds further confusion. Sam, I am in the process. I'm reading Richard's paper. He sent me a copy, so I just didn't want to reference it too much here without him present, although I may do a reading just of the Coherent Bible sometime in the near future. But I want to get through a little bit more of this world-renowned King James Version, find out what's so darn special about it. And as it turns out, what I already know of the King James Bible, there are certain aspects of it that lend itself to a patriarchal society, to a male-dominated hierarchy of leadership. These things are not just condoned, but actually championed by the King James Bible. I don't think that's by accident. But yes, Coherent Bible is definitely on the list. We'll be having more future conversations with Richard. If everything goes according to plan. And I'll be talking to Atheist Mo, the deconversion, probably Sunday night, early Monday morning, depending on where you are. So look forward to that. And with that, I will sign off. I thank you all for coming. This edition of the Trusty 8 Podcast has been brought to you by me. And another thanks to the Christies over there at BibleGateway.com, providing our source reference material here that we've been reading along with on screen. Dr. Osiris, Geo Sam, Tobin Templeman, Kendra, and anybody else, past, present, future, viewing the video. Hit the like button and share it if you want to, or don't. Give us a shit. Alright. Podcast commence. Ending sequence now.